If you're searching for quick crochet projects to fill up your market table, this is the video for you. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, or welcome if you're new. I feel like it's been a while since I sat down and filmed for you guys because I have been posting tutorials and vlogs and stuff, but today we're going to do a little sit down video where I talk about quick market prep makes that you guys can make last minute to fill up your market tables. So if you have a market coming up and you don't have much prepared, or you still need to fill some space on your table, I've been there, and these are the projects that I love to use and some other ones that I thought maybe you guys would like to try to fill up your table nice and quick. So I will link the Pinterest board that all of these patterns are on, and I will also link the pattern or tutorial if I have it, but if I didn't link it, you can probably just go to the pin or search it up and find it there. So let's just get right into it with the first thing. It's super stormy out today, so I'm sorry about the lighting. It's a little dark vibes today, but that's okay. So the first project is going to be this mini triceratops. If you guys have watched me before, you know I love these triceratops for market prepping. I personally don't make them all that mini, although you definitely could. You could probably even put these on keychains if you wanted to, but I personally use blanket yarn for majority of my products, so this comes out nice and medium sized for me. But these are one of my quickest things that I market prep, so if you guys need something you can prep a few of before your market, this is definitely a good choice for you guys. And I also put another dinosaur on here if you wanted to do a little dinosaur section or something. So I don't know what kind of dinosaur this is, to be honest with you, but my sister Fiona has made these for markets before and they are pretty quick as well. So we love a little no-sew dinosaur to start out the video, and these are definitely one of my faves as well. Next up, we have something that I market prep so much, and it is these mini octos. So this is my crochet tutorial and pattern. I have a free tutorial here on YouTube, and I also have a pattern on Etsy. Me and Fiona have been selling these at markets for years and years and years. They sell very well, and you can prep a lot of these in no time. So I highly recommend trying these out if you have never. They're always bestseller as well, so I think it is a perfect quick make for you guys. And then next up, we have a pattern that was new to me this year, but I really loved it, and it was these Tilly the Turtles. These are no-sew again. Most of these will be no-sew because that is just quicker in my opinion. And I also make these in blanket yarn. They still come out pretty small for me though, but I can make a whole bunch of these in not a lot of time at all. I found this pattern on Nina Elaine Crochet's YouTube channel, and it's not her pattern, but she uses it, and she can literally make these in like 5 minutes. Like, it's crazy. So if you guys need something really quick that you can make a whole bunch of, this is another good option for you. Next up, we have a few non-plushy items, just in case you guys want to kind of make things other than plushies or your non-plushy makers. So first, we have these granny stitch baskets. I have made a lot of these before for quick last minute gifts, so I do think they would work really well for markets as well, and they would also kind of bulk up the table and take up a good amount of space. There is a free video tutorial for these on YouTube of just the small size, but then I think you can also buy the pattern for the larger sizes as well. Personally though, I just use the video tutorial and I just do more increases if I want it to be bigger, but that's just me. So I really love these. You could also fill them with products, or you could fill them with like literally anything, like your business cards or candy or something like that. And it's a good way to just kind of take up space on your table, but they're also so cute. Next up, I'm going to talk about some of my pattern bundles, because instead of talking about all of my projects individually, I kind of wanted to talk about my bundles just to give you guys a whole bunch at once. But I do have all of these patterns available for free on YouTube as tutorials, and I also have them available separately from the bundle as well as in the bundle. But I have my no-sew crochet market bestsellers bundle. These are all of my best-selling market plushies, as well as my scrunchie pattern and my watermelon keychain. All of these are very quick to prep. You can make a whole bunch of these in a day. And then for the plushies, it has my stress ball, mini octo, jellyfish, turtle, and bee. And these are what sell best for me at markets. So I wanted to make a little bundle for all of the patterns if you guys want to buy them at a super good discounted price. But I also have these all individually, and you can watch the tutorial for free on YouTube for all of these. And then I also have my No Sew Amigurumi bundle, which has just plushies. So if you just make plushies, then I have a whole bunch of no sew projects for you. These are also really quick, and this one also includes my rubber duck, panda, and whale. So again, those are all available for tutorials as well if you guys don't want to buy patterns or anything. But if you do want all of these patterns at a discounted rate, you can get the bundles. I also have an Ocean Friends bundle, which are also great for market prepping, and I market prep all of those as well, but some of them do take slightly more time, so I didn't include it in this video. But just so you guys know, I have an Ocean Friends bundle as well. Next up, we have bookmarks as an idea. I love using bookmarks to take up space on the table because I just lay them flat on the table, or I put them on top of a book to kind of display them cutely. So I have these bow ones. These are like really quick, I feel like, because it's literally just a chain or one row maybe, but these would be really quick, and they take up so much space on the table too, so it's really good. But I also have my lavender bookmark pattern. I have a video tutorial on the channel for these as well, but I also have a written pattern if you're interested in that, and these take no time to prep as well. I make a whole bunch of bookmarks in one day, and then I just put them on my table, and they take up a really good amount of space. Next up, we are going to briefly go over my velvet scrunchie pattern because I did mention that already in my bundle, and I just had to talk about scrunchies because they just kept coming up when I was searching like quick crochet market projects and stuff. So this is my pattern, but there's a whole bunch out there as well. I use velvet yarn to make mine, and I have a updated video tutorial and a pattern on Etsy available for these guys. You can prep a whole bunch of these in a day, and I personally put them on like a mug holder display, but if you needed to take up a lot of space on the table, you could also lay them out on the table, or you could fill up a keychain display with them or something like that. But I highly recommend if you never tried these before, because they also sell really well for me despite not being a plushie, because most of my products now are plushies, but these are still one of my best sellers even though they're not plushies. And then another one that is really great, I just put this pin as an example, but it is my Crochet lip gloss keychain holder. Again, I have a video tutorial and a written pattern for these, but I have a whole bunch of keychain patterns. I'm going to be coming up with a keychain bundle eventually. I just have to finish writing all of my separate keychain patterns first, and then I'll bundle them together. But right now I also have for written patterns my watermelon keychain and my sunflower keychain available. And then for YouTube tutorials, I have all of those, and also my Lucky Charm keychain and my puff flower keychain. So lots of options for you guys if you're interested in making keychains, but there's literally hundreds and thousands of keychain patterns out there for you guys. I can't personally like vouch for them being super quick because I have never really made them, so I mostly just make my own keychain patterns, but mine are all very quick and easy, and you can kind of batch make them or make them really quickly and fill up that display nice and quickly. You can also lay these out flat on the table if you really need something to like take up the table space, but I personally put these on a little display that I bought, and it just has 2 rows, and I think it's super cute. Next up, we have a plushie for you guys. I saved this pin, and they're actually like in a little crate, not on the table, but I personally do put mine on the table, and they're Loaf cats. So I decided to include this one because it's a newer pattern for me. I've always made Loaf cats, but I've used different patterns, and I finally found one that I really love. It's the Anne Caraway art one. She has a free video tutorial for these on her channel, but she also has a written pattern on Etsy, I think. And these are a very popular pattern, but I really love to make these with like a bigger hook and a thicker yarn because they come out so big, and you can sell them at a really good price, but they also take like not very much time to make at all. I love these like bigger projects, but they're like not a ton of increasing, like not a ton of time. At least for me, these are one of my quicker projects to make, and I love that they really fill up the display, and I can also sell them for a higher price tag. Next up, we have these no sew pocket frogs, and there is so many of these pocket patterns out there. I think they're all by the same creator, maybe, I'm not sure, but these little pocket guys could be great to fill up a little basket or space on your table. You can make a whole bunch of different ones, or you could just make these frogs. I just have the frogs as an example, but I've personally made these before and I think they're so cute. And of course, being no-sew and everything, they are not very time consuming and you can make a whole bunch of them if you are quickly prepping for your markets. Next up, a few more non-plushy things for you guys. I personally make this next one and it is face scrubbies. So I put mine in a little container, but again, any of these things could just go flat on the table if you really need them to. I just think in a container they look super cute. I've been making these for probably 5 years for markets now, and they do sell well for me, especially if you like market them as stocking stuffers or something. They did really well at my Christmas markets in the past, but I make these with cotton yarn, and it's almost like a washcloth or a dishcloth, but it is a little face scrubby. So you put it on your hand and then you can wash your face with it, or you can wash dishes with it, I guess. But I love that they are reusable, environmentally friendly, and a useful product for people to purchase because I love a useful crochet project. But yeah, you can prep a lot of these pretty quickly, and they also don't take a ton of yarn because I know that sometimes I don't make a whole bunch of dishcloths anymore either because they do take up a lot of my yarn, and I don't even know if I can get a full dishcloth out of one of those smaller skeins of cotton. So these are a great alternative kind of for that to offer to people, and I love that you can make a whole bunch of them very quickly. Next up, we have a trinket dish. I have this star one as an example, but there's so many patterns out there for these. You can even do really simple ones like just a circle with like a little edge, and you could prep a whole bunch of these very quickly and even just display some like rings or little trinkets in one of them to show what it is. And I personally never sold these before, but I have made them before and I have personally used them and I think they're so cute and they could be a great addition to your market table. Next up, we have something if you're doing more like fall and winter markets or even summer. I personally still use at summer markets too, but I wanted some products that you could use chunky yarn with because chunky yarn will work up faster because it's thicker. So I decided to include this chunky beanie. You can make these pretty quickly, even though they do kind of take a lot of rows to make. With chunky yarn, it takes less rows and less time, and these are also a very large product, so they can fill up lots of space on your table. And this is something I also personally do put flat on the table. Of course, you could also display one like on a mannequin head, but I personally flip up a crate so that the top of the crate is facing out, and then I will lay them flat starting inside of the crate, but then I will stagger them so they come out onto the table, and it takes up a really good amount of space on the table, and I think it looks super cute as well. So I highly recommend trying that out if you have lots of chunky yarn. I also have a whole video on chunky yarn ideas if you are interested in that, but I personally really like to make these, especially if I need to fill space on the table. Next up, I wanted to talk a little bit about my 10 weeks of market tutorials series here on the channel because all of these are market prep friendly and great plushies that you guys can make at your markets. I've talked about most of these plushies already, but some other projects on there are my crocheted gnomes, so cute and a unique addition to the table, my starfish, and then I have non-plushy items like my scrunchie and my lip gloss keychain. But yeah, I just thought this would be a good resource for you guys if you want free market tutorials because they are all there for you in that playlist and you can check it out on my channel. I do have written patterns out for all of these too as well, except for I think the gnome is the only one I don't have. Next up, a few more products that aren't plushies before we get into the last few plushies I have for you guys. The first one is these bobble stitch hot pads. Me and my mom make these hot pads, or like trivets is what we call them, with chunky yarn, and they work up so quickly. And I thought these bubble stitch ones were so cute, especially for like a fall market in the colors that they made. I think so cute. And again, everyone loves a useful crochet product, so I thought this was a great one to include. And anything using chunky yarn, again, works up very quickly, so I'm sure these would not take you very much time if you wanted to make a whole bunch of them before your market, and they also will take up a lot of space on the table because they're nice and big. Next up, we have these bandanas. These ones are super cute, but there's a whole bunch of patterns out there for these guys, and I personally have made bandanas before. I've never sold them at markets, but I know a lot of people do successfully sell these, and I thought it was a great little wearable item to include. And these also take up a lot of space. You can lay them flat on the table and they don't take very much time, especially if you use a thicker yarn or like a granny stitch like this. They work up pretty quickly. And then finally, a few more plushies for you guys. So first we have this chicken. Chickens are a staple, but I did want to include them specifically because I think they're one of my quickest plushies that I make. I use a video tutorial on YouTube that I'll link, but there's tons of chicken patterns out there that are pretty much all the same. But I love that the bodies are just like empty like shells, because you can prep so many of them at once and then just finish them up with the eyes and the details and everything. I love batch creating these like right before my markets, and they are also really good sellers, so I highly recommend doing chickens if you need something really fast. Next up, I found this cute no-sew axolotl pattern. I do make axolotls for my markets. I follow Crochet by Jenna's pattern, but it is slightly more time consuming. If you have a few days, you could definitely prep a lot of these still, but I thought this little mini one was so cute to include. And I personally never tried it, but I thought if you guys wanted an axolotl pattern, this could be a great one for you. My family just got home, so I gotta go really fast. Next up, we have this duck. This is 1 Cent Crochet's pattern, or at least that's the one I use, and I make these in yellow. I make them in black for like crows. I make them as mallards. So many possibilities with these, and these are like similar to loaf cats with the amount of time they take me, and they're like really big for the amount of increases and everything on them. So I highly recommend trying these if you never have, because they're one of my favorites to prep last minute. I actually just made these for my last market the night before, so it was a really great project to fill up my display. And then finally, I have one that is a larger product, so it is a little bit more time consuming, but if you have a day and you really need to fill up a larger space on the table, I recommend trying this out. And it is Crochet by Jenna's No Sew Dragon pattern. These are not as time consuming as you'd think they are because they're no sew, and she has a free video tutorial out for these, which we love. And personally, I think these are perfect for this because they take up so much space on the table and you can sell them for more. So if you have like one space left on the table that you really need to fill, I highly recommend these because they're also really good sellers. That's going to be it for all of the market friendly quick crochet patterns. I hope you guys found something that you want to make for your markets, and if you do have a market coming up, I hope it goes well for you. But make sure to like the video if you liked it and subscribe to see more videos like this one. I have a lot of these kind of videos here on the channel, so I will link like my playlist for these and everything. And let me know what your favorite project in this video was and what you're currently making if you're crocheting anything. I'm currently making a whole bunch of flowers, so it's really fun. But thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!